Hey y'all, it's Jenna with New York City Fashion Consulting. Hope everyone's having a great day. Today I wanted to do a little analysis using some prior boutique history to kind of show you how you guys can analyze your sales and track results, see what works, and with the idea of growing your sales and customer acquisition. So I just want to give you guys an example. So I'm going to hop into it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop your questions below and I'll get back to you. You can also visit my website and you can book with me hourly consulting. So drop a question and be sure to subscribe so you know when I add a new video because I think they'll help you a lot. Hey there. Okay, so this is the data export from a e-commerce boutique, and I've blocked out a lot of the information just to keep their information private, so you shouldn't be able to tell where it's from. And also, this person reached out to me. Actually, they found me via YouTube, and I started consulting with them. And when they hired me, they were kind of in a standstill and had bought a bunch of inventory and not really moving. So that's the thing, is I get a lot of people who get into this and then they're like, oh crap. And I really wish people would like consult with me before they start the business, because then I can get them off on the right foot. So and instead of like trying to fix the problems, we could create the solutions to begin with. But happy that somebody hired me as a consultant. So so this is data. This is an export, I think it was Shopify. So just to go over the columns right here, you have your order date. This is going to be an important column that we're going to use, is this customer type here. Notice it says new and returning. And then what else is, it's Wix. And then something else that is going to be important is units sold. And then, so you guys can make sure you can see the cursor. Units sold. So I kind of highlighted the columns that we'd be using. So the black I blacked out to protect. The blue I added the column. The dark gray we're not going to use because it's not really relevant to what we're doing. So a lot of extra columns in here. But yeah, so the item sold is going to be important, and then gross sales. And then I added this formula here, so I guess these should technically be blue, but I added these here. So these are just summing all the units, and same for here. And just to do that, you can just go equals sum parenthesis, and then you like go and grab all the data. So should be the same, hopefully. Yes. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then, yeah, I inserted this column. This is called AUR, average unit retail, and I just took the sales divided by the units. So that gives you the average retail. So I believe it's been a while since I've opened this data export. So I'm just trying to remember like how the specific boutique worked. But I believe so on this transaction and the way the export is, based on the fact that there's an order number here, 6 items were purchased and the total value is $64. So an average of about $11 per item, which we're going to talk about what's going on here at this boutique. So and then a discount. So I blocked out the discount just so you couldn't, the discount code, so you couldn't know. I might give it away. So discount code, and then here's our taxes. So with tax, so if you add this plus this, you can see down in the corner 70/40. So with tax it's 70/40, but without tax it's 64. We want to use this $64 number. So yeah, we're going to be using this column. The AUR is going to be important. The sold, and then the order date over here I'm going to use. So what I did is create a pivot table, which you just select all the data. So you go like this, and then you can use shortcuts. Control Shift down. Oops. Should take you to the bottom of all your data. So quick shortcut there. and then you would do insert pivot table. So I've already done this, but you would do a pivot table, and then it would tell you to do it to another sheet. So basically taking this data, and we're going to be able to put it in a format that we can make sense of all this data. So I'm going to start with this one. So on here, you notice that there's new and returning. So I basically have inserted this column over here. This is your pivot table fields. So I have the customer type here. So I can remove this and you can search it. It's actually right there, but if you didn't see it, customer type. So I'm going to click it, and then you can move these over here to or whatever, but this is where I want it, is in the rows. And then this is the sum of total orders. So this is like, actually it's like a count. So in total we had 164 orders, which should be, it's always good to double check things. So I believe it should be, this should be 164 cells, 166. So I don't know, 2 are missing. I'm not quite sure why that is. I'll have to figure that out, but it's close by 2 cells, and as long as it's not like way off. So ideally you'd have it exact matches, but just kind of want to show you the kind of the big picture here. So okay, total 7 total orders, and then up here I had put just the order date, and then it broke it down for me this way. So I can close these and just have it like this. And so 2021 we nearly doubled. And just something to think about on this boutique, you can tell when she started, because so you can see there's no sales really before July in 2022, or orders, sorry, not sales but orders. So you know, it's not exactly apples to apples, and again, we only go to May here. So comparison wise of going like a quarter to another or year to year is not applicable here. But what's important here is this, new and returning. And what I want you to see here is, so new customers is 108 and returning is 53. I started working for them the end of March. So you can see that they had a bunch of new customers in December, which is great. So December was a good month for them relative to how it's been going before. And then, yeah, so I started like the last week of March, I think, with them. So, and then this was returning customers, so meaning people had already purchased. So you can see in these 2 months here where there was a huge increase in amount of new customers, and that's huge. Like if you want to grow your sales, you have to get new customers, because you know you can't keep selling the same 10 people, or especially your 10 friends. Like to me, a definition of a customer is somebody that is not a friend, somebody you don't know. That is a customer. So getting these new people is huge. And then that was one of our goals, is getting new customers, because ultimately that's how we were going to grow her sales. So mission accomplished there. And then I want to show you, so this is something also you should just track often. You should kind of pull something like this and then be like, what percentage of our sales are coming from new each month. And then it's kind of hard to do formulas in here, but you could do this. You could do, like if you wanted to figure out the percent, so like in March, let's just start here. This is going to be a minute. Let's start here. Equals this divided by this. So in that month, 70% were new and 30% were existing customers. So we can drag this over here, and then you always want to make sure your things equal 100, because if they don't, you'd be surprised. Yeah, it's just a good checking thing, so these should all equal 100. And yeah, actually that's interesting. Why does that not? Oh, because, oh, there's a rounding error. Shoot. Okay, so this should really be 27. There we go. This is exactly why you check your numbers, because this should be 44. This should actually be 161, and I'm looking in the bottom right corner in case you guys didn't notice. So let me actually do this. So, yep, that's exactly why you check your numbers, people. Now these should all equal 100. So glad we added that, because then they would have been off. So yeah, so in this month it was 50%, and this month we had a 82% new, which is great. Here was again about 50-50, and then we got up to 63% new, 61% new, 67% new, and 30 existing. So just something you want to keep tracking that, and I think you should always be adding new customers. So I definitely would rather see the new on the high side, but then again, you also want to retain customers. So definitely important to track retaining and adding new. So this is an important metric. Yeah, so then we're going to go into sales by month, which, so again, she started her boutique, I believe, in July, so that's why there's not sales existing. So her first month, she sold 5 items for an average of $9. And then she sold 246 for an average of 27. So also I added this formula in here manually again. It's just simply this number divided by this. AUR's average unit retail. And I don't know if somebody can tell me this, why this always defaults to sum of AUR. It should just be AUR, but it wants to default to that, and I don't understand why. I guess because that, but I think I still need it to be, sometimes the trick is out of space. Okay, so yeah, so again, I came on board with her in March, and so you can see this, the sales significantly grew. Units significantly grew. The AURs aren't super high, but that's because we had a strategy. We were going to re-strategize with her to make her picture more clear to what her customer is. So we were marking down things that were no longer fit for her customer, and also just kind of going to a new site. So had a whole like we're moving type online thing. So some markdowns, but really my goal for her was just to move goods, because so much of it had been sitting for so long. And I refer to it as cleaning out your closet, right? Sometimes you just let those clothes sit there, and like they sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there, and you never wear them. What's the point? You might as well make something versus nothing off of it, right? And eventually it's so obsolete or out of season or whatever, you'll make nothing. So it's better to make something than nothing. And also you're going to need space for the new merchandise. So, the goal was to kind of reconfigure the online boutique, bring a new product. So, this is just an example of consulting a boutique and things you should be looking at for your business. And I don't know, like it will help you grow your business so much when you take down and you start to look at the sales. And then you'll see here, so like, say we weren't marking stuff down, but like, why are all these dips all over the place? So like, I think the average AUR is $24 or $25. So like, my goal for her would to be, let's try to sell everything above $25, go for it. Like, that would be a very reasonable goal. So just something to think about. So yeah, hopefully you guys found that helpful. I'm adding these spreadsheets to my website for download for purchase. So if you think it'll help you, feel free to visit my website and download for purchase, or reach out for an hour of consulting and we can do it just for you. I'm happy to help you guys. I love working with fun boutiques. So yeah, reach out. Hope this was helpful.